All right, guys. I'm hoping this works today. It's 6:33. I just wanted to check the sound a few times. Yesterday, I had to I had to shake things up a little bit, but today I think we checked it at lunch, and it should be cool. Let me see if some of my dogs around the world are here to help let me know. It is 6:33. It is December 11th. It is 2024. It's almost holiday season. Actually, we have the T3 Live Christmas party tonight. So I'm heading into the city at lunchtime in order to do some meetings, catch up, and then tonight, it's going to be, I think, like year 15-ish. Wow, getting old. What up, everybody? All right, can you guys hear me? Mike Jackson, can you hear me? Joey, can you hear me? Fob, can you hear me? Can you hear the dog? All right. Space specialist, that's cool. I have my voice back a little bit. I will say thank you to everyone in the community who kind of understood that the last few days have been real tough, as far as, with the family, with Cadence. And I don't think I can still talk about it. So let's just not talk about it. Let's go to the stock market. Let's focus on what we have control over today. And that's right here, our process, our routine, our keyboard, how we get up in the morning, how we live our life every day, and how we, move forward. So at this point, everyone knows it's CPI day, right? Today is CPI day. What does that mean? We're going to measure how much things cost, a consumer price index. All right, inflation is somewhat considered still a problem. So today is important because we have December 18th FOMC, where 70% of the experts think that we're going to get cut another 25 basis points, which probably happens. And then the question is, do they get a little hawkish moving forward? Because it's going to be hard with the S&P up 26, 27% on the year, for them to be saying that they still need to support the market with lower rates, et cetera, et cetera. So what up, Dubai? So before we get into anything, I want to talk a little bit about the S&P and the SPYs. If you remember to start the week, I'm like, guys, we made a little short-term top at 609. Look how extended we are from the 8-day. I've spoken about the 8-day and the 21-day thousands of times and how important it is for the active momentum trend. Say that. Active momentum trend. How active are you? Some people give it to the 8-day. Some people give it to the 21-day. Some people give things to the 50-day. For us that trade monthly and quarterly and daily and get paid for a living, we tend to use the 8-day because we are a bit more precise. We are in the trenches with the market, and we can make decisions fast, and we could revisit. We can get price discovery. We can have things happen and not get caught because we're here and we're prepared. So when 607.02 broke, if you had a little bit excess risk, maybe you could have gotten a little less long, or maybe you could have sold some premium, or maybe you could have put on some hedges, or who knows. But from there, you could have said, hey, we're going to see the 8-day, okay, because look at the fluff right here, and then see what goes on from there. And then yesterday, we actually went below 604.08 to see a low of 602.14. So not the end of the world. You're allowed for that to happen. You can't have a Santa Claus rally from all-time highs unless it's like blistering, and then that's already like a pain trade. So for today, we're getting a bit of a bounce back. So now the question is, do we take back 604.08 and all of a sudden repair and take back this candle, or do they sell into this area just like they sold yesterday, right? They sold halfway into that candle yesterday, right? So the bounce was contained. So if you use retracement rules, like this guy Conrad who's here, he's 20 years old. He's very, very specific. It's so cool to see young traders trading the market. He's been trading it since he's like 16. And if he's listening, you're doing a great job. Bottom line is, you had ways to navigate your tier system, meaning how to use your tiers to net money and stay with things. So this morning, SPYs are up a bunch. By the way, that's Mr. Mr. showed some relative strength. That's which is nice to see. So here we go to Mr. Go like this. The SPYs are up 80 cents, so it's 603.57. So, if it wants to bounce, if this wasn't CPI day, I would say probably people would either, if you bought the dip, you trim a little bit. If you're looking to, sell some into strength, this would be a spot that, if the market's that weak, we hit and we roll over. If the market just forgets, which sometimes it forgets, and sometimes, again, you're allowed to pull into the 8-day and it doesn't mean much. Sometimes it powers right through. That's why you just don't short there. You measure there. You see what's going on. And then what else do? You look see what's going on with, the different leaders. If you look, In the last few days, some of the really, really high flying leaders lost a little bit of momentum. Doesn't mean they're done. It means that maybe they're going to slow down and not make a new high in a little bit. We spoke about those. We talked about Reddit. Look how Reddit did an exciting high. It hit 180.74, right? It was really stretched. We've been in Reddit for a while. Okay. This has been a grand slam home run stock. I also think potentially, it'll have a nice year next year, but look how loose and wide this is getting. Okay. Put a short-term top. And then yesterday, the strength was sold. We're still above the 8-day, but it's like, hey, maybe don't be in such a rush to buy that so fast. Palantir, I don't want to get hate mail. I'm just saying Palantir, I've been in a bunch. Palantir, everyone says it different. But bottom line is this 80.91, that might be a high of December. It opened up. It couldn't hold the prior high. I list those sell rules because I want to see you guys take profits and not get caught. And then what happened? Yesterday, you couldn't hear me, but I'm like, maybe they try and rally it back halfway, and you probably don't want to be a buyer of that. You want to be a seller of that. And that's what it was. So if you didn't sell on this day, you had a chance to sell a rally. Okay. And then it rolled over. It's still above this ascending channel, but this could see the 21-day. Why not? It changed a little character. So when things change a little character, if you're very, very active, you got to notice that saves you money so you can get paid. We get paid for a living here, so we can provide livings for our family. Yes, I get paid trading also, not just sitting here on, being the chief strategist, which I've been for 30 years. But anyway, so that was a little bit. Then even yesterday, Dash was a little, gross. Usually Dash is put in these little like bottom tails and continues, bottom tails and continues. All of a sudden, yesterday looked like it was going to, get back up and take out 181. And then all of a sudden, a seller came in. So after a huge move that Dash has seen, I don't know, maybe it doesn't take out 181.28 for the rest of the year. And maybe it needs to see, a little bit more downside. So again, you don't want to be too big. And if you've been buying shallow dips and that's been working, sometimes you don't want to go back to the well just one too many times. I'm just saying. Anyway, you're not sitting there looking pretty. Why, you can't hear me now again? Hump day? Tell me if you can hear me, Bobby. Are you watching? 6:41. I know I just keep rambling on, and if I'm talking to myself, I'm going to be upset. Yes, Tesla keeps rocking. So here's the alpha team. These are my guys that trade with me. These are the guys that every single day we're talking, we're going over news, and these are my, we live life together, and if you want to become part of the alpha team, there's definitely ways you could do it for a lot cheaper. With the holiday season for 2025, I'm not here to sell you. I'm just telling you who they are. They get to see my positions live. I'm actually, Mr., which was interesting yesterday, showed relative strength for the first time. So it was my first time buying Mr. in a while. But it's been fading every day. So I want to show you people like how do people follow you, on the alpha team. So what happens is you go over, like just say Mr., you'll see it's long overnight. And then if I hold on, where is the arrow here? I'm going to feed the ducks. No, I'm kidding. I don't like calling anyone a duck. That's not nice. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to actually take it really for the team here. It'll flash red. Or maybe it won't. Okay. Let's see. I try one more time over here. Maybe this one will flash red. Let's see. So sometimes if I go through trade support, let's see. It doesn't pop up. And then we'll get moving. We only have a certain amount of time here. All right. So now I just sold. So now you'll see it's Mr. right now, up 6 and change. So now they see that according to my process, I take some profits because it's up 650. Why not? Right? Why not take a little profits? So this way you could stay with the trade, because people talk to me and ask me about my tier system all the time. Anyway, so let's move along, little doggy. So this is where over here. Let's go back over there. So that's Mr. So the reason why I got long Mr. is because Mr. did a little red dog reversal yesterday. It was stronger than actually crypto, and it held the 21-day. It's been holding the 21-day for quite some time. So it was worthy of an overnight. So I took it home overnight. Plus, there is some talk. I talk to a lot of people, and everyone My wife talks a lot. No, I'm kidding. I hope she's not watching it. I think that there's a possibility on Friday it get added to the NASDAQ 100, which would probably help the stock. So I think that's getting around, so people aren't going to be one short if that happens. So I'm just saying, preparing you today on Wednesday, that maybe on Friday it gets added to the NASDAQ 100. What did I do? I sold some puts for this week because I figured it's not going to break, 320, and I bought the stock yesterday. So far, so good. As far as the IBIT, it got a little wishy-washy yesterday. I've been in this thing since the turkey trot started, and I remember, on October 11th, I'm like, guys, here's the thing. Okay, I've been doing this for 30 plus years, and usually, the last 7, 8 years that I've been watching crypto, that has a move into Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, everybody's talking about crypto, and everyone wants to know how they get into crypto. By that point, it's already at a major run. So I try and tell you guys how to get in before everyone talks about it, so you can make money. People talk. I'm going to give you ways to interact with scenarios so you can make money in a system that's yours. So anyway, that was back here on October 11th, was right here. That was when I bought IBIT, and it's been a great run. I did a few little caricatures and this. Anyway, so what happened yesterday? Yesterday, it went below 54.63 and then reclaimed it. I actually sold a bunch into that, looked for price discovery, bought some back, and now, IBIT, not so bad. Okay. The question for me is, how long is this going to take to rebuild, go sideways, and take out 59.16, which was Bitcoin 104? It all depends. Like, if this low is the low, for the next, for the rest of this week, chances are maybe by Christmas it can get back above 100,000. If all of a sudden it gets faultier and doesn't hold the 21-day, then chances are the momentum is leaving, and you have to just do things slower. So anyway, I'm in both of those. I'm still in those massaging the system. What price area are you targeting? So you know what, Mr. Change. So like I don't really. I started out with some 450 calls. I started buying it here, and then the more I was thinking about it, I'm like, it's going to be hard for this to get up above 450. So that's why I'm like, let me sell some puts for the week, because they'll get the premium out, because there's probably going to be a floor, because people are going to be hearing about this. Let me buy the stock. I should be big enough that I can buy the stock without buying the calls, even though it's crazy, and it's working here. I would think that if it does get added, why can't it at least get to 415? And then maybe a call spread would make sense, because the premium's so high. And then if it does, but then then you have to figure out how to manage it on Monday if they get added. But we'll see. Intel's dead money. I haven't bought Intel since I was a kid. That was a long time ago. I don't even know if it's out. No, I'm kidding. But a lot of the semis are dead money. You want to talk semis? Look at the SMHs. The SMHs, I have not. This is really like a channel, and it's really vulnerable. It broke 244. Though so far it's not meaning much to the market yet, but the more that semis start breaking lower, out of play is one thing, a headwind is another. A headwind means people are noticing and saying, hey, if the semis, which used to be a really leadership, if NVIDIA that used to be awesome isn't awesome, maybe this leader can't be awesome, or that leader. So anyway, the nuclear names have been broken, yes. So this is a spot. A lot of things have been kind of broken. So that's why, for me, I'm playing a little defense. I wouldn't mind you guys playing a little defense on December 11th and not, going cajones to the wall. A little defense. Protect your money. We've had a lot of really big moves. Anyway, so yeah, the 200 days right here. So that's right there. By the way, these are my dogs. These are, everyone who kind of tunes in on YouTube and on Twitter, so everyone kind of talks, and we talk a little shop. Some people give me names. Right now, Steven's asking me about Lucid. So Lucid was one of my January effect plays. I bought 5 different January effect plays a little early, because sometimes they go early. They don't wait until the end of December or the beginning of January. But Lucid, according to one or two of my fundamental friends, which my brother is one of those, it was his biggest position, and he was begging me to buy it down here. So I bought like like a lot of 250 calls. So you had a nice move because Rivian had a nice move. You had a nice move because Tesla's been in play. It's been a dead stock. It's not a leader. It's not something you should be trading every single day. I kind of think that, it's not a bankruptcy. Listen, Fisker was a bankruptcy. There has been bankruptcies. I don't think this is a bankruptcy. The guys that I talked to don't think it's a bankruptcy. So if it's not a bankruptcy, maybe this could see the 200-day or higher. I've seen crazier things, in January happen. Let's go to the weekly. What happened last January? Because it was also that bad. Look at what it did last January. By January 23rd, this thing went to 17. So, I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but this line here would be like 350. It's just something to do. BlackBerry also a January effect name. Okay, I have it on. This is actually acting pretty well. The other day, guys, made really good money on the Alpha team and Redler All Access on this day. I was buying in here lots and lots and lots of $3 calls, and then that happened. I still think it looks good. I think software for cars. Just someone brought it to me. I'm in there too. So, but again, I'm not trading this. This is things I positioned in for January 17. January effect. Anyway, what am I trading? I'm trading Tesla. Tesla's been obviously fantastic. Tesla. I was on with my friend Liz Clayman. I'm going to be on again December, I think 17th. I go up twice a month, and she's like, "What do you think is going to happen with the election and all that kind of good stuff?" That was pre-election, and I'm like, I'm not saying I want him to, but my friends think Trump's going to win with a landslide. You want to be in Bitcoin and Tesla and the small caps, and I had options on the small caps, Tesla and options and Bitcoin, and it's been a hell of a run, and it still looks good. It's a little extended, so you have to be a little careful. There's news that their China registrations were good, it's just a little extended from the 8-day. Okay, this was the last really good setup here when it held 348, went sideways. You could have bought it and added right through that 361, 364 area. And now, although it looks like it's had a big run, which it has, you go back to the weekly chart, and the weekly chart showing you it's had a big move, but all it is back to this 414 area where it spent a lot of time between 380 and 414 in this year. So we're getting back up to there. Okay, this got above here. This is 414. I'm sure I have a feeling it's going to tag it soon, maybe before the end of the week. And then the question is, are the Bears going to try and put a small double top in? I don't know. They might. You look at the 8-day where it's just a little extended, so just watch your size. That's all I'm saying. But it's been a great, great, great trader. Elon, I'm not going to talk politics, but it's pretty nice having a billionaire travel around the country representing the USA trying to talk about free enterprise capitalism, and he's proved it time and time again. Okay, he's not using an agenda to get elected and stay there and get paid $300,000 being in Congress or Senate and coming out worth $50 million. How does that happen? Because people pay for some influence. I don't know. Anyway, Elon's a mad. I'm a riser. I rise and grind. This guy, he's just everywhere. Anyway, he might have a big staff that helps him. Elon is leading the mind of our generation. Yeah, no one really hates towards him, Bobby. Only people who hate everyone. If you hate success, if you hate, look what's happening with this whole thing with the UNHCO who was killed. They're now starting to glorify the killer because they're saying he made a stand against the healthcare industry that at times everyone gets frustrated with. He still killed a dad, a son, a husband. I'm not going to get into it, but that's kind of crazy. Same way, I'm not going to get into the whole Israel-Palestine thing, but on October 7th, 1,200 or more people were killed and hostages were taken, and then people were mad at Israel for fighting back. Because, I don't know, we can't talk about this right now. We can't talk about cadence, we can't talk about politics, and we can't talk about, Mangione, whatever the hell guy's name is. But we'll talk about Tesla, that 414 could happen, Crazy world we live in. Control what you can control. Don't get frustrated and pissed and start breaking TVs and keyboards. But anyway, what's my thoughts on Meta? Meta's acting very well. I traded Meta really. I am not in Meta right now. I should be. I kind of nickeled and dimed this a little bit. I had a really, really good trade around 590 through 603. I stayed with it. I sold some above 627. I traded. Yes, I've been feeling the market's a little vulnerable, so I'm trying to figure out ways not to get caught with too many things. And Meta, you could buy a dip in Meta thinking the level's going to hold. It can go down $10 in your face, another 10, and you could lose a lot. I lost 6 figures in Meta one day last year. That took me a while to come back to when it was acting like the strongest stock, and all of a sudden it went lower. I'm like, oh, I'll buy a dip. Turned into a $20 dip, and traders got, rolled. But anyway, I like Meta. If you want to be long Meta into the end of the year, just make sure it holds 603 to 605, and just don't overdo it if you're not active. What's Meta doing today? Meta is not doing much. You do have the CPI coming out. Some people ask me, what about the IWM? IWM, it's been grinding lower. That's what it does. Like, look, grind, and then boom, and then, grind, boom up. And now it's like kind of hanging here. So I took a little, what calls I took? I just bought some calls, 239s, thinking that if, I think that the whisper is that the CPI is going to be a little hotter. And a hot CPI is not good for rates and not good for the IWM. So if it happens to be a little lighter and they cook the books a little bit, maybe the IWM gets a pop and it could be something to focus on today. But that's a big maybe. Just know that, a light CPI is good for the IWM, a hot CPI isn't. Willie O'Neill has the number one rule: no stocks under $10. I get it, health minded, but I'm a trader. I trade for a living. I'm not going to ride a stock down from 50 to 2 because once it breaks the 8 and 21 day, I get out of the way. But if a stock goes from 100 to 4 and it's being sold at 4 because there's so many winners everywhere and people need to take tax losses on it, I could find a nice day one on volume that might have a stock go from 4 to 12, not back to 80. I can make 200-300% with the January effect, while these guys are just either out of it or making a little bit of money back, because we are market timers and we actively trade for a living. Besides, put money every month in a 401k, besides put money in a 529 for our kids to go to college, besides a whole life insurance policy so our family's set. That's Red Dog Financial Wellness. But anyway, you're going to see Red Dog Mindset Financial Wellness and coaching and events coming out in 2025. You think Elon's everywhere, you just wait. Anyway, with that being said, it's 6:55. I'm a little I'm a little past the time frame that I'm allowed. So put some handcuffs on the dog that are soon going to be unshackled. Oh, that's one of the exercises I use in my sauna, in my 15-minute workout that I'm going to share with the world. You can sit in a chair with 15 pounds like this in a sauna and sweat your kazootsies off and get your mind right. Later, guys.